What's up, guys and girls? After the last video I got some requests to spend a little bit more time on this husband and wife situation, husband and wife debit orders, and basically like an expense control mini budget, because you can literally use it for both. But essentially what this is used for, I use it very successfully month end to determine which debit orders have gone off my bank, which manual payments I've made. You'll see at the bottom here it says balance in account. I normally start with that, and we can always put in there, let's say 30,000. So you just literally go onto the cell. For those of you who are new to Excel, click on the cell and you start typing in the cell. So at this stage we put in 30,000 Rand. That's now in the wife's account. In the husband account, let's do similar. We do 30,000. And we've started with the wife and the husband at the same time. Always save as, or just save your work as you go, so any changes that you've made has been saved. And if something does happen, you lose the spreadsheet halfway through, at least you don't have that much of information to recover, so you can start from there. So literally towards the month end you can start going in when you expect your first debit order to go off, and you can start completing the paid column, and all you do is you paid in exactly what has gone off your bank account. And you'll see in this example, vehicle 1, that payment hasn't gone off the bank account. Vehicle 3, we still have a 0 in paid, and cable TV, we still have a 0 paid. As far as the manual payments are concerned, we've done the same exercise with the bank statement. And remember that, guys and girls, you can do this over a number of days. It just makes it, I dare say, you know exactly what goes on in your account. And if you have a balance in your account, you know what is left to be paid and what has been paid, and what basically money have you got left after paying all your bills manually and the debit orders that have gone off. So after completing this column here, which is the manual payments, you obviously would have done this probably manually from your bank account, or in another way, in a different way than a debit order. You fill in the physical amounts. As you can see here, we haven't filled in the medical accounts because that hasn't been paid, and the water and sanitation here hasn't been paid. Similar on the husband's tab, you can go in here. Remember that you can highlight a column, and you can either drag it to become bigger, or you can just double click on it. So what you can do here is we can just go and just put in, basically for now, from an exercise, just put in the exact amounts that you expected. And let's say, for example, all of these amounts have gone off the bank. You can literally go and fill it in from your bank statement. You'll see on vehicle 2 and vehicle 3 I left it blank because they don't have a vehicle 2 or 3 for the husband. Son's wages 500, daughter's wages, and again on this side let's just accept that everything has gone off and everything has been paid. So once you do that exercise, we've started with 30,000 Rand in the bank. You can see 18,135. If you double left click on that column there, it picks up D18 and it picks up I11, and it actually adds them together because that's the due amounts. So it says husband monthly total to be paid 18,135. As you can see, all of it is paid, none of it is due. So if, for example, that wasn't paid yet, if you look at this still to pay column here, it immediately reflects in there. So it picks up basically the total of the column, the due column, and it says you still have 1,500 Rand to pay. Let's leave it at that, and then say, right, the husband's monthly total is 18,135. That's the debt, monthly debt, still to pay 1,500. That hasn't gone off. If you click on there and you double click, you can see it actually picks up the total due. So if it's not paid, it picks it up at the bottom. And for those of you new to Excel, basically what this bottom column here, the yellow, means. Those are the totals for that column, and the due column. And if you start there, you add that up, you can literally just drag it to the right, and then similar to here, same. Adds that up, adds the paid up, adds the total due that's still to be paid up. Alright, so that's the husband's situation as we stand. He requires 28,500. That's basically 30,000 minus 1.5. So if you then do this calculation, so some people, if you look at this, for example, it's in a positive. Some people would prefer to do it the other way around. You can see this takes D5 from E5. So it takes D5 from E5. But you can also take E5 from D5 and it will give you a minus result. So it just depends how your financial mind works, the financial side of your mind works. But this, you'll see, the husband will have 28,500 left in his bank account for use, and for use to be spent, to be invested, to be whatever. If you take that away, he probably would have had less than that. But at this stage, as you can see, 28,000 rand, 28.5 as it stands. So that 18,135, as I mentioned, is basically those two, the manual payments and the debit orders collected together. That has gone from the bank. As you can see, there's only 1,500. See how it changes if you take all of this out and you make all of this zero. What it does, if you have 30,000 in the bank, what it then does, it brings it down from 28,000 to 18,000. So obviously, yes, let's just put that back. You can obviously just do your exercises here. What is nice about this, it stays fairly stable with all these the columns and all the descriptions, because unless you get a new one, you can always add it in at the bottom and insert, or add it in the bottom here. What I normally suggest, if you insert, you would probably use this area here, for the simple reason, if you insert, you go and insert the whole column, you insert a whole row from number 6, and basically what it does, if you put a value in here, for example 1,500, see what it does to the total once I press return or enter. Actually changes. So what it does, it includes it, because you've inserted it into an area that's already formulated, or already has a formula in, it actually adds it together. So I'm just going to remove that again. The only problem that I sometimes find with columns like these, if for example you want to delete credit card 1, you're also going to delete that one, unless you just do it on this side here, which becomes a little bit technical, and if you're a beginner of Excel, I'm probably going to confuse you, so I'm not going to do that now. So I'm just going to suggest that you always, if you insert, go and insert there. Deletions we'll deal with on another video. So this I'm just going to delete again, and you'll see I'll delete it far more than I wanted to. So you go undo. So there's one row, row 6 is the only one I wanted to delete. It's now deleted. Remember to save your work. Right, we go back to the wife. So the husband, we've got totals. He's got, if we leave it as that, he's got 20,000 rand left in the bank for the month. We go to the wife, similar situation here, double click, it picks up those two, and it says the wife has 25,599 expenses per month. The wife still has to pay vehicle 1, vehicle 3, cable TV, and medical account, as well as water and sanitation. So that 730 and the 538328 comes to here, and it adds up to 6113. If the wife then has 30,000 rand in the account, once that is paid, she's got 23,886 spare for the month. So between the husband and the wife, you can now go and do a summary for both, total debt. So this you can do in more ways than one. All this does is it picks up the total debt for wife, total debt for husband, and it says total debt for both. For the household basically is $1,734. You can set up a similar column like this, where it gives you amount paid and due, where you can have the total amounts paid, total amounts due. You can have totals for then husband and wife on one page, but I think it's easy enough to just keep it simple as it is. So at any given time in the month, you know exactly how much money you've got left in the bank, what hasn't been paid, what hasn't gone off as a debit order, and you can start making financial decisions from there. Guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Short and sweet. Give us a like there, share and subscribe, and grow this beautiful channel. See you soon. Thank you very much.